looky what we have here. WMS 40 Pro Mini 2 with bonus headset mic. Nice. $349 from JD's Sound and Lighting. This was a bonus. I think they said these are about $100 and something, so $129, but they're on special for $99. But they threw this in as part of the package, which is great. It's plasticky, apparently, the microphone and stuff, but it's 30 hours of a single AA battery. That's unusual. Same with that, that's also apparently 30 hours on a single battery. So this has two separate transmitters that I think are at the 600 and something megahertz range. Yeah, one's a 660.7 and one's a 662. That should be a fair enough split, and both of them are legal to use. Pretty much the entire 500 to 700 range is legal to use in Australia at any time. So I'm excited to test this. I've just got a refund on two other ones, so hopefully this one works well. Yes, I did spill that. It's my soy chai latte. Will I clean it? Yeah, is there a bin around? If there's a bin, then I'd wipe it up with something. Plastic, metal, balanced outputs for a 3-pin or 3-segment tip ring sleeve. TRS 1/4" plugs, 12 volts. Minimum amperage that goes in here is 300 milliamps, 0.3 of 1 amp. Power adapter, Perspex Australia. Okay, we've got a bunch of different countries plugs. In this box, yep. I'm in Australia, so I'll do the Australian adapter. They should always do this for every product. There we go. So there must be some metal in there that I can't quite see. Can you see it? Because that's got to stab in. And that would be to remove that. 240 volts down to 12 volts. Energizer batteries, not a bad touch, well done. Pretty impressed they give me Energizer batteries. I of course have rechargeable batteries, but I'll be using these first. They do claim to give you 30 hours of battery life from one single charge. Okay, so the packaging here, this sits alone, very small. If we compare that to my other one from Vonix, that's the size of the Vonix transmitter, which is very cheap, $89 combo set. This one was $349 with the bonus $129 microphone thrown in. Battery compartment, very breakable looking tip, very lightweight plastic, bit of sponge there. Takes one battery, nice easy big hole. No real problems putting it in. Fingernail, no massive problems taking it out. I've tried some systems lately that have been stupid to get things in and out. Light comes on immediately, so it's already on the on position. This is a bit of a bad design. That looks highly breakable. Maybe less than 1mm thick at the tip. This here looks like a volume knob. If they're going to give me a volume knob, I hope it's not a frequency changer, because it's locked to a frequency. Well, it says there it is locked to that frequency. That's got to be volume, so I don't know why they let people fuck with that. And if you're going to do it, put it on the outside, because I could make use of that. This clip is tight. This entire thing is cheap plastic. Information on the screen. The mute button is a stupid idea. It would give you a false sense of security. Those little pins in there look extremely fragile, but this is the mini XLR input for this type of microphone, which they gave me as part of the bonus pack. The reason I got the clear one while I've got the handheld mic is because I want to use both, but I don't want to have an ugly bass mic that looks bad when I move over to go, instead of from singing with the guitar around the room, to using the mic, the handheld mic, and start rapping and using it as a prop when I put the guitar away. Let me just have a quick look at this. Okay. Do not bend the boom within 2 centimeters of the capsule or the earpiece around the connector, as this will result in permanent damage not covered by warranty. Do not pull by the cable or the boom of the ear set. Do not bend the microphone over sharp angles, such as the end of your fingernail, or under tight radius, such as less than 4 centimeters diameter. Fitting the PT microphone, placing the boom. There you go. So the point is, the microphone is fragile. I'm just going to plug it in. This is a single ear hook rather than a double ear hook. I just felt like it would be just easier to put the take on and off in between sets and just let it hang off my ear or something, rather than having that. I'm hoping it'll just be just as stable. Very, very lightweight. Those colors there. The colors don't look too bad. Often you see these ones are very yellow and look fucking ugly. Sorry, ugly. But these ones are nice sort of creamy color that sort of match the microphone a little bit. There's some softness to this, but not much. It has to squeeze around your ear and hold tightly, right? Let me see if it fits. So, mini XLR to mini XLR. I'll line it up that way because I know it's going to go that way. I feel like there's a possibility of it bending or damaging those little pins if you put it in incorrectly instead of twisting around. It doesn't come out unless you press that button, which is good. Okay, so it's locked in, locked. The mute button is a pain in the ass. Gives you a false sense that you've turned it off and you just drain the battery. The only indicator of any kind on this set is that this thing is super lightweight. Super, super lightweight. Really, really light. Feels cheap. Making sure that's turned off. Preferably, I'll try to use that microphone without the foam. And let's just hope that I don't get the puffs and the tiss and the tss happening. Probably will though. But it'll look more streamlined to my face if I don't have to do that. Okay, this section here is kind of hard to open. And inside there is and mini XLR to mono, which defeats the purpose of the XLR in this case, because it's for a guitar. So if you were to plug that in, you could hook that into guitar instead of using this kind of thing. This was a cheap brand. Those batteries only last for about 1 hour inside those. But these other ones, including this, this is actually a charging pack. These ones from NUX, which are also, by the way, stereo or balanced. The other one's in my guitar. I've left it in there, yes. That would normally drain a guitar battery, but in my case, I modified my guitar so it's got an on-off switch with an LED. Okay. This microphone is that long. Yes, it's a long microphone. Oh, it's normal size, normal length. Okay. That's the tip there. Pointy. The battery compartment opening method. Once again, a very cheap bit of very highly breakable plastic. I don't like the battery cover design on either of those two mics. Fully plastic. Obviously that grill's metal. And that, again, another annoying mute button. The battery really doesn't want to squeeze in there very nicely at all. A lot of pressure going in. Yeah, once again, with these handheld mics, they often make the microphone come out very difficult. That, trying to get it from the top end, it's got some weird kind of plastic clamp that's connected to the top of that bit. It's almost like you pull it down and that slides in, and really you can't get it through unless you push it right down on the spring. I've never seen this before. Right down, and then it wants to go in there and really lock in underneath that bit of plastic for no good reasons that I can see, because most batteries, once they're in a good slot, won't have any problems. Putting this back in, you've got to line up those two rectangles there, unfortunately. There, it would be very hard to do in the dark. It's hard to do even now. Is that battery protruding too far? I've really got to stick this down. It's a bit of a nonsense cover. It's a stupid cover. But it's not going to slip off at all without pressing down on that. But it's still shit. So, in terms of LEDs on this mic, just in case I want to return it because it's shit, I can't see any lighting. That's, you can get your thumb in there and do that. You don't need to stick your fingernail in. It actually, the meat of your thumb actually goes into an indentation in there, allowing you to do that. But that does not have any light coming on, which makes me think maybe that is a cover that I need to remove in there. Why wouldn't a light come on? The battery's fully charged, I'm sure. It's not like they gave me a dead battery, is it? Okay, I've just pulled on that and something's come loose instantly. Did you see that? But it came back up the moment I pushed it back. It sort of clicked back up. I don't understand what's going on with that. Okay, you pull on that, that pops down. Why would that happen? Very strange. Is that preventing the microphone from functioning properly? Why would they put a block over that? Because it's on, oh, okay. The LED is so tiny, it's unnoticeable in daylight. Cheap bastards. So there is an LED. I'm going to turn that off now. Okay, very cheap plastic. Putting this thing back on is a bit of a painful experience, but it worked once I knew the trick. Okay, so that is everything in the box. Unfortunately, where I'm going to set it up is a bit of a dark room. Well, hopefully these LEDs are a bit brighter. Volume control left, volume control for the other mic. So each mic would be assigned its own left and right. So this is already locked into the frequency of either the left or right hand side. There's no changing that. So you just listen out for it and just choose which cable slot each microphone uses. I would say, look at this, audio out 1 is on the bottom instead of the top. That's a strange thing, isn't it? Because I was thinking, okay, well obviously the one listed first would be audio 1, but no, it doesn't make any sense. It's Chinese, made in China. There you go. no real logic. This has got some nice weight to it. So that, and that. Incidentally, this is my nice guitar. I did install this light switch so that leaving the lead plugged in doesn't drain the battery at all. Okay, every other semi-acoustic guitar that I know about, it just drains the moment you plugged it in to a lead. So you got to take the lead out after every use, but not for me, not anymore. So this is my mega guitar case that I'm building. It's like a coffin, 22 kilograms when fully stocked up, with some wheels on it and really nice big fucking handles and stuff in every direction. That's good. That thing goes off every time I make a noise. All right, so this is plugged in to the power point. That's my through wall adapter, by the way. My through wall rock board mod 3 it's called. So that'll be facing outside that wall there when I cut a square hole in there and have figured out every device that I'll be using. Okay, so this is plugged into power. Unfortunately, I don't have any stereo cables, balanced cables with TRS. I've only got tip sleeve TS, got one guitar TS mono cable. And I'll also probably want to use one of these, a combiner, because I'll always be using both the mics at the same time, and I don't want to have to saturate all this with, so this is not a splitter, this is dual stereo, right? So I can have that as a fold back speaker. That is my 8-inch speaker, which is nice and portable. My other 10-inch speaker is way too heavy to carry around in an Uber. So this case and that speaker and stand will be the two things I carry. It'll just take everything I need. So this speaker here, it's a Mega Boom, but it's the old Mega Boom so that I can plug it straight in without having to worry about Bluetooth lag or anything. You need the, yeah, so that's going from stereo, from the iPad, which is wireless. Everything is wireless, by the way. Everything transmits to and from this box. This is the real foldback system. This is going to be, that's what this device down here is. That is a transmitter for a foldback. Sorry, for an in-ear monitor, wireless in-ear monitor. This one. Don't worry, I won't be using white iPad Pod one. But these are no good, these proper in-ear monitors, because they block out sound and I need to know what the audience is hearing. So I'll be using my black ones of these, which allow airflow through into the ears, and I can just turn it up and down on my belt pack, which is incidentally going to have to carry both the receiver for the in-ear monitor audio and the transmitter side by side. But I do need access to the volume control for what I hear through my headphones. So I'm not sure how effective this belt pack. It's a double pouch belt, transmitter and receiver belt. I can't remember the wording that you need to look up on, but it was about $100 with delivery just for this. It's lightweight, stretchy. My waistline is quite large, but this is stretchy, so this is only medium size. Nobody in the world had anything larger than this. There you go, it's an Ursa strap, big pouch, double pouch, medium waist. I have a large waist, given that a lot of people in the world are dancers and stuff, and their hips might be wide, but their waists go small. But you know, there are big opera singers in the world that wear these things. Or maybe they can't, I don't know. Anyway, let's see what this looks like. It'd be nice to leave that on as an option. All right, I'll take it out. Okay. Getting to the batteries in here was a pain in the ass. I had to actually, you see how these batteries fall out now? Before, I had to use a screwdriver to get them out, and it scratched the shit out of my brand new rechargeable batteries. And these are nice ones. They're 2.5 amp hours. Yeah, 2.5 amp hours each. But unfortunately, you can't see which way is positive and negative anywhere in there. You've got to actually read some tiny thing on the side. So I just made these symbols on the side. So negative is that side going down into it, and positive coming up. So yeah, basically I had to open this whole thing up because there was nothing really wrong with this LD Systems MEI 100G2B/PR system, except for the fact that the battery thing was completely squeezing the batteries. Look, once you squeeze the lid shut, it's in springs. It's not, you can't even, not even rattling. So it was a joke. Anyway, I had to modify it. This is designed to be tight, which could be a problem. This is to be worn under the clothes, so I would use the volume control through my shirt. It shows you there that it fits, right? Let's hope the stitching isn't too tight. Wow, it is too tight. It's stupidly tight. Hopefully the volume control won't be fucked up. Tell me they took that into account when they designed this. They must have. Why would you get a double pouch pack if it was 2 transmitters? You wouldn't. You'd have a receiver for any monitors, and you'd have a transmitter for microphone. Now that's just ridiculous. You need 3 hands to get this thing open. You need to get, every time the batteries run out, like after every set, let me see how much battery life is left now. The batteries must be back to front. See, with that incident there, if I didn't just check that just then, right, there's no way. That would be stuck down in there and it'd be really hard to remove. Nearly everything I've purchased, nearly everything in this entire industry is badly thought out. Oh, I had them both facing upwards, it's fucking stupid. All right, negative, positive, there you go. All right. That was my fault, but it's only a problem that takes 5 seconds to fix, or less. This is going to be take a lot longer if I use it in this belt patch. Considering that I'll probably be wearing this under my clothes, the volume control should probably be on the exterior of my clothes. So potentially I'll wear this on my belt so I can access the volume control at all times. It's got that much battery left. And look, I can't check how much battery it's got left while it's in the pouch either. Whereas if it's in my belt, I can. And this, it's almost like this belt pouch was not made for a normal size receiver or transmitter. I'm gonna put that back on while I still think of it. Put this one in. Take this off. There's no need for me to ever have this on the exterior. It has no information and I can't adjust the volume control. I can only turn it on and off. Let's hope that on and off switch. See, the room has to be dark before you can even see that light. Let's hope the on-off switch is totally accessible once it's down inside that pocket. And I know when it's on or off. I guess I'll just have to remember that in is on and out is off. And mute is gonna drain the battery. That's a stupid thing to have that mute switch there, it's stupid. Okay, let's see if this one squeezes in a bit more easily. See, I'm already accidentally turning it on while trying to put it in this fucking stupid pouch. This was in a $100 with delivery pouch. All right, once that's around my waist under my clothes, I can run that up my shirt and have that ready to put over one single ear. Looks really breaky offy, doesn't it? So with this attachment here, I would say, well, it's firm, that's good. It's not a screw, is it? Yes, it is a screw, it's a screw. That's what screws in and out. So that's good, it's not, can't just fall off by being, okay, so it's all very fragile, especially that bit there, I'd say. But also, they've talked about the wiring inside this, so I should be very careful with this $129, what's it called? Ear key? I can't remember what this design is called, but it goes over one ear, that runs down the back of your shirt, that goes around your waist. That'll probably go on my belt. Okay, and I'll be able to take these in and out of my ear. Like I say, these ones are just, they're only good if you've got a sound engineer running the front of house, because you have, like most solo artists like me, who are going to sing and play guitar. By the way, that entire thing is going to pop at the microphone stand with the iPad holder and transmitter and everything. It's going to pop up out of the case, so that will just be coming out like that. Turn the power on for this SR40 Mini Pro 2. Get your green button there. RF is okay. What's that for, this thing? Does that mean the power's on? And I just turned it off. Okay, so could you see that? So it is doable, but underneath the shirt and so on, it's going to be quite hard through this expensive belt pack. So it'll be a combination of wearing this at all times, right, for some of the sort of lounging around, playing the guitar and singing songs with the backing tracks, playing guitar with it, and going in and singing rap. I can't give you any other testing right now without buying those cables, which I'm going to go onto eBay right now and buy those cables. I'm going to get another one of those, stereo in ×2 and stereo out combiner, and 2 stereo quarter inch leads that will go from the back of these 2 sockets into mixing desk. Yeah, unfortunately the back of this thing does not have a mix out, so I have to use both of those. Obviously, if I have 2 stereo leads, they'll be individual leads, and I have the option of then plugging each of them into a different channel each, right? But I wouldn't do that unless there was some sort of problem with merging them, because each of these has its own volume control here, right? And I'll want probably the same echo effects and everything from one channel. So I'll just plug it into this one, and then I'll be able to adjust the echo and reverb and stuff on that particular channel. And then I'll use this one for the guitar, these 2 ones here of the left and right channel of the backing track. Don't forget, microphone is mono. The only reason we're using a stereo cable for the microphones, and that light there, I'll leave this on forever now, is telling me that one of my microphones is turned on, and I know which one it is this one here. So I've got to make sure it doesn't sit in mute. I've got to look out for that light there. So that's one good thing about this, right? Even though I can't see if the light is on and this thing's been left on, that thing tells me. As for this microphone here, I really have to remove this plastic. Okay, so this microphone here, yep, it came on as soon as it was in mute mode. Testing, 1, 2. Okay, so that light comes on if you really sing really loud into this, but singing at a normal volume is okay. My mouth was right up to it, that's okay. This mic being on, this light doesn't tell me shit because it's too small. in nearly all circumstances. I don't know what happens. Holding it here, it feels like the microphone's going to fall out of my hand. It's not an easy microphone to hold. It's very top heavy up here. So it's badly weighted. And it feels very slippery. There's no grip to this microphone. It's the opposite of holding a nice, you know, metal microphone. It feels very cheap. Right, so look at that microphone, no information at all. As compared to one of these other wireless microphones, right? Turn that on, battery, tells you the frequency. You can change the frequency inside the microphone just from Hotech. You get two of them and a receiver. But the reason for 200 bucks, and it's got nice, you know, look at the metal in the battery compartment and so on, right? Batteries clip in nicely. It's all well built, right? The only problem with these mics from Hotech are the microphones sound awesome. They're probably the best quality microphones I've ever heard, right? Beautiful microphones. I put that blue tape on there to differentiate that one from the other yellow set that I've got, because the transmitters are locked to pairing using one of these, right? This is from the yellow set. And this thing, you cannot be charging it while you're using it, because it creates an electrical hum. Same with these other Bluetooth adapters I bought to try to clean up my home audio system with all my headphones and everything, because I have to change headphones like 300 times a day with all the different stuff that I use. So, by the way, this was about $16. Boom! Love it. Comes with this little remote that gives you these little options. Great for kids, and I reckon that would light up a dark room with party lights, just as something extra, and it goes with the bass or whatever music you got going. So it's freaking awesome. It's like an extra thing that people would not expect you to bring, that would just easily fit inside my guitar case and give some ambience, right? So that is the SR40 Mini Pro 2. Where did I get it from? It was from JD Sounds. Yeah, and this and that. Hopefully, in a lot of situations, they'll have their own PA system, so I won't have to bring the speaker, because that's 10 kilos already. With the stand, it's about, I don't know, 11 kilos. And then this thing is 23, and I've got a broken spine at the moment. Like, I've got a missing disc. I'm strongly considering surgery. My surgeon says wait until the pain gets too strong and then come and get it done, because you're risking paralysis and all sorts of things with back surgery. So there you go. That's a very light guitar, so that's why I'm able to get this a bit lighter. Unfortunately, it's in a regular shape, with the bass being really wide there, but it still fits nicely in there. But I did have to chop out all the previous foam, which was just the wrong size. So that took me about 4 days of strenuous blister on the fingers, kind of stripping. But yeah, this will be neat, and I'll get on the underside of all of these devices. And no Velcro. Velcro does not work. It always rips off. It's useless. I've got to try and find the screw holes on all of these things. Let's see if this one has any. Yep, 4 screw holes. So I'll get a piece of ply, paint it black or whatever, or get completely see-through Perspex maybe, so I can make my job easier of affixing everything from underneath. Drill in to the bottom of everything with screws, so it's all held nicely on a square. By the way, this is the volume control for the backing tracks, so I can just do it with my foot if anyone says turn it down, please. Okay, power system's all black. It's all black. And then I've got the pass-through, of course. So this case, when I get to somewhere, I just have to plug in the kettle cord and the 2 external speakers, and that's the end of it. The rest is just turning this stuff on internally, which will already probably be preset. I can charge everything, got internal batteries, extra batteries, chargers and stuff. Right, the battery charger's over there at the moment, but okay. There you go. One final thing, I can't actually test this, I've told you I've got to buy some special cables. There's probably 2 stereo patch cables to come out the back of this thing. Then have a double stereo combiner that just puts it all, so I can just only take up one socket without having to worry about levels. I can use those 2 volume controls there to separate this microphone level from that microphone level. Now the final thing I want to show you, great thing, I can tell when a mic's on by looking at the green light on that, right? Okay, which is great, so I don't need to see the belt pack's light, I just need to know if it's on based on basically just seeing that green light on that device there. Now this microphone is an odd shape, okay? It feels like it wants to fall out of my hand at all times. It's a stupid shape with no grip and it wants to just slip out at all times. You're gonna drop this microphone. It is not designed to be held, really. What it also isn't designed to do, look at the shape of it, right? It's not round. So we're looking at this microphone socket. The round part of this microphone is the part you need to see. This side, but even that's kind of fucking weird. Anyway, I'm gonna put this in normal, like, so you can see the light is on, you can activate the microphone switch. If you can't, then you can't. Right, so, but then there's a gap in here because of the fucking penis shape of this fucking thing, right? So you kind of just have to put it in sideways or something, and just odd. But if you put it in the way that it makes it fit, you're concealing the freaking power switch. It's the dumbest design. I thought it was stupid when I saw it, but it was comparatively priced. You know, it seemed like a good price. This is gonna get scratched up as well. And in order to do this button, right, the switch, you've got to hold it at the base of the mic where it's wanting to slip really, if you held this mic, you know what I'm talking about. You have to hold it up here, like you're shafting someone. Like, it's stupid. It's stupidly light. It's got no weight. It's nothing compared to this mic here, right? This is a nice, solid, heavy, good, cold, and then warming up in your hand mic, right? With a battery display, frequency and everything. Got the signal strength. It's just good. It feels good. You can hold it anywhere and it's strong in your hand. It looks professional. It is professional. It's fucking good. That one, the stupid mute option for no reason. Right? It feels like you turned it off and you just didn't. You have to observe fucking lights and shit to make sure it's off. This one, you can tell it's off because it's so well lit right there. And it looks good for the audience even to see that sort of thing, right? Look how well this one goes in, right? Click it in, hold solid, round, all the way around, okay? Obviously, you probably, if you're setting it up and you're looking, you'd have that facing that way, right? So you can activate the switch or not, and it fits in exactly. But, like I said, I had to swap the mics because two things. One is I wanted, especially when I'm rehearsing at home, I don't want to stand over here or near or take this thing around with me. When I'm dealing with the guitar, I'm just holding the guitar, I'm wearing this. I don't have to be near anything. The only thing I have to worry about is the iPad volume control for the backing tracks. So, not happy with the shape of the microphone, the lightness of the microphone. Just look, it's just picking it up gently, is like that, right? And that's because it's really fucking weighted towards the front end. It doesn't want to be, it's really struggling to balance. It doesn't have any balance. It's badly balanced. I might end up opening this up and putting some weights in there for that, because that's just absolute cheap hollow plastic. Strong metal, cheap hollow plastic. Good battery screw thing, bad battery clip thing. One-handed, try to put it back on. Look, it doesn't even have a place. Okay, it can be done. Only because that was there to stop it from sliding out of my hand. Anyway, would I recommend it? Don't know, I haven't tested it. The sound from that is fucking unbelievably awesome. It makes anyone's voice sound really good. Good bassy tones and sweet sounds. Very crystal clear. I don't know what this one's going to be like. Hope it's good. It feels cheap as shit. We'll see how it goes.